There's so much of our everyday routine we take for granted. Those run-of-the-mill things like waking up in time for work, our bathroom regime, wearing the right clothes, and leaving on time to get wherever we need to go. Some of these tasks in our daily lives are more of a challenge for people with learning difficulties. So, a team of design and technology experts have joined forces to help address issues like these in the form of the award-winning GOET project.
The GOET project is a European-funded project. It has partners from 3 different European countries, including the UK, to develop a serious games-based learning approach to improve the personal skills and life skills levels of people with learning disabilities to support them towards employment and independent living. There are service users involved who have autism, who are deaf, and some who have additional mental health needs.
In the GOET project and similar projects, we are trying to improve vocational skills for people with intellectual disability. In some cases, some of our clients have ended up getting a job after using vocational games. But we have to recognise that for people with intellectual disabilities, it's a long way to get a job. And there are lots of little steps you have to make. And the games help you make those little steps, but they also record and accredit those little steps too, which is useful for progression. Partnership work is very important for the project because partners brought very different expertise to the partnership. At Nottingham Trent, we're experts in developing and designing serious games, but our other partners are expert in evaluating serious games and working directly with the stakeholders of the project.
Greenhat Interactive has co-developed this project with Nottingham Trent University. We wrote the application together. Our staff have worked for over 18 years with the target group, supporting people towards employment and towards independent living.
Direct input from people with learning difficulties has been at the heart of the project.
We include people from our target groups in every phase of the project development so that we know that they are accessible to them, that they are usable by them, and that they are learning effective for them and culturally appropriate.
We played the games and they asked us to give us some input on what we thought of the games. So we was able to give them suggestions, and I suggested making a shopping list with the prices on. The games are great. They help you with your shopping. They teach cleanliness, teach how to manage money and count the money when you go shopping.
The partners' skills and experience have been crucial to its success.
At Nottingham Trent, we have a research team called the Interactive Systems Research Group that we've been working for 10 years, and we've been developing virtual environments, serious games, assistive technology, and evaluating all those technologies for 12 years now.
Well, before the project started, I had been working with David on developing games for people with intellectual disabilities, and we'd got a fairly good way of doing that, so we knew the best way to do that, to involve users and get just what they wanted out of the games. In order to learn something, you've got to do it several times. And young people do that with computer games, so it gets them repeating actions to the level at which they need to learn something.
I'd like to enjoy shopping because it's like a maths, and to let me get more experience to do training. It's a fun game. I'd like to play it again.
The anger management game has been developed specifically for our target group of people with learning disabilities and additional deafness or hearing impairment. For that reason, we've made it a visual approach, and it is wholly signed in BSL. It uses scenarios to deal with a number of behavioural issues such as anger, feeling stressed at work, or feeling under pressure from your peers.
From school and college, it's a big step for some people. and they need a stepping stone. So this GOET project is able to bridge that gap between school and college. Because obviously, anger management is a big thing, and it's linked to their confidence.
The charity Beta Pathways helps people recovering from mental illness. Some of their users also helped pilot the project with remarkable results.
I've noticed a difference in regards to their self-esteem, their self-confidence and their communication skills. Beta Pathways feels extremely proud to be involved in this project. It has been the first time we have been involved in something like this, and we've really enjoyed it.
They just loved the games. There was one or two people in particular who had got so much enjoyment out of it, had verbally expressed how they felt. We also noticed that their confidence was growing, they were increasing their IT skills, they were working together, and they were quite happy to help their peers.
Juice Factory is very good. It's games we need to pass with. You can win it, you get high numbers, and then you win that games like that. Juice Factory, and then shopping.
A blended learning approach is probably what we'd recommend for this project. It recognises that there's a wide range of abilities with people with intellectual disability. We don't actually want to disregard the really good materials that exist. We want to use our serious games in conjunction with the really good practice. And that might be books, DVDs, websites, role play, television, and we want to use the best of what already exists with our serious games. We don't really want the content to be static, so if you put in some questions or quiz answers which might be relevant today, you'll find with young people it won't be relevant in 6 months' time. We've got to remember that people with intellectual disabilities are also digital natives. They're brought up surrounded by DVDs, laptops, websites, the internet. So content changes really rapidly for them, and our games have to respect that too. So we provide a very simple editor with an intuitive interface that trainers themselves can use to input new questions, new answers, new content, new material, new multimedia.
As you'd expect from experts like these, the GOET project has also been designed with one eye firmly on the future.
RouteMate allows you to plan your route by selecting a start location, then an end location, and then as you start travelling around your route, you use the phone's camera to start taking important pictures of important landmarks as you go along. So it breaks the entire route down into a series of sub-routes which are easier to learn. And once you've learned those sub-routes, by navigating from one important landmark to the next, then you can start building up the route as you gain more confidence and you put all those individual small routes together. If you go a little bit off route, it will give you advice about how to get back on route. If you really go off route and you're a bit frightened, you don't know where you are, you press a button and it will text your exact graphical location to a helper or caregiver, and they can come and find you. Recall extends that approach, but it's for all people with disabilities, including people with sensory impairments, also people with physical impairments, and also for people with low vision.
What about the cheese factory? It's the way it's laid out, the way it comes down. It's fractions, isn't it? And it's something that can match the numbers up.
Genuinely fun and exciting games for people with learning difficulties have been created. Games that support routes towards social engagement, more independence and employment. Now that's what you get when you combine the expertise, hard work and sheer passion from everyone involved in the GOET project.
At the moment, we see the current project as a springboard to the future. We want to use games-based learning for stroke rehabilitation, for people with low vision to navigate around virtual environments and games, also for teaching sexual health to vulnerable young people. One of the main lessons that we've learned from the GOET project is by involving people with intellectual disabilities in the research, you get a stronger project and a stronger product. I think this is something that can be replicated across different types of projects and service organisations.
There are 3 partner countries involved. Everybody has different levels of experience and expertise at working on such a project, different national practice in supporting the target groups. So there have been challenges, but by working closely together, we have overcome those challenges and we now have a successful project with some good results.